Hey everybody, Tim Gilbert here, VeVe user ID /. I decided to go over and share what I've learned in this last year and a few months on VeVe. I've been very dedicated to following it. It's been a super fun journey. And I want to share kind of some things that I learned along the way. And maybe you can take these and use and apply them or not. So the first thing I want to say is what I've learned whenever there's an AMA, and this is true for me too, an AMA or a decon or a Comic-Con, the excitement builds and I get into it too. And always go for those drops because there's peak excitement in those times. And unfortunately, I'm unlucky with the drops, but if you are able to, I would recommend, my personal advice is to sell it that day or the next day. Because you can always get back into it because that's when the peak speculation, and it's fun and everybody gets jazzed up, but that's the absolute what I've seen in this market and even in the boom times. That's when the things pump. So you don't want to do that. And that's the same for the OMI token as well. Whenever there's exciting news or speculation or Pokemon or an AMA article comes out and the stock pumps and the token pumps. And what I've seen, I'm not a crypto expert, but I follow this stuff and try to be knowledgeable on it, is because OMI is still on just a few places where you can buy it, and it's fairly complex to do it. It can really be manipulated quite easily. So my strategy, as I've said before, is long-term hold. I have 130 plus sets. I have 10 million OMI. And I'm not selling. I've only sold a few things in the beginning, but maybe some of this knowledge that I'm giving you might give you some insight if you're more into a flipping mentality. And I could have done better, if I followed some of my advice on some of these grails that I've stacked. The second tip would be if there's a collectible or a comic that you really want and it's on the pricier side, wait until there's a major announcement that everybody's buzzing about. For example, when Amazing Fantasy 15 or ASM 300, because they inevitably die down when the next shiny penny comes. We're so fortunate to have so many first appearances of such iconic characters. We're spoiled. I think if we look back in this 3 or 4 years, it'll be like, wow, I remember when. It's just, we're getting such a bonanza of things that are awesome nonstop. So I would say wait at least, and I've been waiting 2 to 3 weeks after the drops, and I probably should have waited 60 days because then I would have saved even more. Even though I'm holding, I want to try to buy my best possible position. So if you're targeting higher end collectibles, say $700 plus, things that you want to get that aren't just like, the lower end. Now, what I found, even in this bear market, the things that I purchased to complete these sets, if it's $50 or in that range, even when things go up and down, it stays within a few dollars. So I haven't, any of these low end items I bought in the last 6 months, which has been a really bearish time, is I haven't lost. The ones I've lost on are the ones that I didn't get and even waited, and they went down even further. So when we get an influx of users, hopefully in spring of next year or whatever, the strategy will change. But right now, if they say, hey, I want to get a Todd, or I want to get a Spider-Man first appearance, or the Super Comics, wait until there's really an exciting drop, because then people are liquidating, trying to get gems because they want to buy the new one. I've done it too. Well, I haven't liquidated, but I've tried to get these, and every single time I've lost money even when I waited. So time is on your side right now because of these bear market conditions. I've mentioned this before in a couple of videos, as I use this software called My NFT Tracker, which is free. And I target the lowest cost secret rare collectibles because you get the maximum points. MCP is pretty much going to be probably in December. And I really think they're going to make this deadline this time. And I just think they're lottery tickets, and there's a very good chance, again, not financial advice, that these secret rares on the low end have a potential to 2 or 3x once everybody goes, oh, wow, if I can get X amount of lottery tickets and I'm still holding a collectible, you're betting on VeVe in the future if you want to be in this, if you want to participate in Master Collector points. And they're just like lottery tickets that you're going to get for only these collectibles you want to have anyways. But you max out points when you get these secret rares. And, you know, I really think it's going to pay off. Again, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to have a massive amount of points when this rolls out. And I'm going to, you know, I'm going to finally be able to get these drops because I'm going to target, you know, when there's a super drop, I'm going to target a half or a third or a fourth of these. Because as you know, if you get a Miles Morales or something like that, that's 10 grand the next day or two. Then I might drop it when I get it on the drop and then buy it back in 60 days. So that's kind of where I'm headed. And hope those 3 tips, you know, give you some ideas or things you could try. Rock on, Tim Gilbert.